Hey everyone, we have another word from our sponsor from Liquid IV. So if you'll give me a minute, we'll start the show soon. It's cold and flu season, if you haven't noticed. A lot of my friends and family are getting sick, so it's really smart to stay hydrated with Liquid IV. Just rip the convenient packet, add water, and stay hydrated. My favorite flavor is watermelon because it tastes really good and it's not as sweet as the other sports drinks I've had. Liquid IV contains 5 essential vitamins: B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. All that probably help with not getting sick, at least. Not to underestimate the 3 times the electrolytes of other leading sports drinks. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code NERDBS, all lowercase, and one word. At checkout, that's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code NERDBS at liquidiv.com. Now, thank you for listening, and we'll go to this show. Well, hello. Welcome to your sloppy Christmas special. This is an interesting way to start. Tomas can't make it tonight, and I'm Alan, obviously. I'm fumbling all over my words. Tomas can't make it tonight. Kyle is here. Hey, Kyle. How you doing?
I'm feeling sloppy.
You're feeling very sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling pretty sloppy as well. It's the 6th of December. It's the only episode we're going to be making or the last episode we're making for the year of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
What anything exciting happened, good or bad? Hopefully good in 2023. Kyle, Oh, that one on you first. I didn't even think about that. We should have talked about that before, huh? Let me think about it. Now that you can go, I can think.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Thanks. Totally off the fly. Well, yeah, thinking back, a big change for my family was my wife changed school districts she was working at after working at the same one for 16 years. She worked at the same school, same job, same position for 16 years. So she transitioned so that she could be home earlier, spend more time with us, with me and the kids specifically, and hopefully get more pay in the long run. Because she went to a better paying district. So, because she kind of maxed out what she was getting at the previous one.
Yeah.
So, that was, believe it or not, it's a big ripple effect in a family when that kind of happens. So, a lot of stuff transitioned. I stayed home with the kids more because of that and focused more on selling video games online, which has been fun, but it's turned into like a part-time job. The amount of hours I put into it every week, and even during the the holidays, like the Thanksgiving, Black Friday week, it was like a full-time job. So, that's been all fun and life-changing, and my wife loves her new job. But now it's kind of my turn. Like, where do I go next? And so that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't see myself selling video games online forever.
Yeah.
As a full-time gig. I think I'll continue doing it on the side, but
do you not like it that much, or do you not think there's like a place for you to do it full time?
Yeah, I think the latter. I think a storefront is actually better because from what I've learned, like if I were to open a store, maybe I could make a go at it, but that's not really in the cards. It's a lot of risk to open a business, especially in this economy.
Yeah.
But like, we talked about this earlier. Just retro video games values have been going down. So
Yeah.
what once was very lucrative and easy to sell when people were getting stimulus checks have become, it's a tough sale and you don't get as much as you used to. So I basically broke even on some of the bigger games I invested in a few years back. And that's just kind of where it's at. It might pick up, who knows, but I need something a little bit more stable for my family. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, cool things, exciting things. See what's ahead for me. What about you, though? How about your year?
Yeah, I started this question and now I'm like thinking about it. We got, well, a lot of negative things, but at the same time, I think we were very blessed to not have anything dramatic happen compared to other places. We had the Hurricane Hillary that everybody knew about. We also had a huge snowstorm at the beginning of the year, which one of the trees in the center of camp fell down. So ever since that happened, we've been like lopping down trees all year, and it's actually pretty crazy. I don't even know if I even told you, but we even cut down the tree in front of my cabin, the one that was
Really?
that a couple people hit.
Wow.
Yeah, we cut that one out because it was leaning a little too scary for me. After that one fell,
A little too close?
after that one fell, I thought that one was completely healthy with no problems, but when it fell during the winter, I started looking around with my eyes like, okay, which ones am I worried about now? There's some of these trees are really, really big, and
Did it
if they're
damage?
leaning the wrong way.
Did that one
We were,
damage it?
like I said, we keep skating by without any problems. Fortunately, it did not damage anything. It just kind of fell over the road to the
Nice.
lower part of it. So fortunately, nothing bad happened. It was just kind of a big inconvenience
So
for
you'll
a
have
while.
some firewood.
Yeah, we have plenty of firewood. That's for dang sure. I think with all the trees that did fall down, I think during that storm, quite a few trees. I think we ended up losing about 11 or 12 trees falling down. Some of them, much smaller, but some of them pretty big. There was an oak tree that was up by 19 and 20 that also went down. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh,
But that one fell down. Yeah, it was an oak tree.
Woo,
Yeah, it went down. There was 2 oaks up that actually went down.
that's right.
Yeah, there was a lot of trees that went down. We only had one cabin get hit, which was, like I said, we kept skating by. That one was pretty easy fix too, so we didn't have any major damage compared to other people. So it's been
Wow.
I guess
Thank you, Lord.
almost, yeah, I know, almost a blessed year in that sense. I mean, it's still a lot of work that went into it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, nothing like detrimental happened, so
Right.
which is good.
Yeah. No one's hurt. No, not a lot of damage on the property. That's great.
Exactly. So it's a good thing in that sense. So other than that, we're pretty busy year, so that's always a benefit.
Nice.
But good year. I think an okay year overall. I don't know if I'd say good, but an okay year after all. I don't think it was. It's better than some of the ones previous. maybe an uphill. Maybe we're starting to go up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah. I mean, it's hard to compare. There was a couple tough years there. for
oh
everybody.
yeah. I mean, we're still pretty close to COVID. I mean, COVID's still around technically, but we're still close to that time. I mean, you were just talking about it, where everybody was having a little extra funds and pulling in all the collectibles, and now that extra money,
No.
with inflation, is not as easy to come by. To start
Yeah,
hoarding.
people are selling, right?
Yeah,
It's
people are
just-
getting rid of
it's-
it. Hmm.
It's a seller's market, which is not good for me as a seller.
As a seller, yeah. You mean it's
Yeah.
a buyer's market? No, it's
Yeah, I guess it would be a buyer's market.
Yeah, because
everyone's selling. Yeah,
everybody's selling. Okay.
sorry,
That makes sense.
I did have a couple grandpa's old cough medicine.
Uh-oh.
I had a couple
You got a
beers.
cough?
Okay,
Do you have? Oh, okay. I was like, you got a cough too? My son has a cough.
no, thankfully, my son does too.
I know. So I got COVID. It was a while ago, probably like in October. It was in October, before the 13th, because it was right around my buddy got married. And then after I got better, my son came home with something, and so he got sick. And then Then a little bit after that, my wife got sick, and she was sick for almost 2 weeks, and then she still has a cough.
Wow.
And now my son is starting to sniffle and cough again. I'm just like, oh my goodness, what is happening? I could bring in this stuff back. I mean, I know it's flu. It's cold and flu season, and we haven't really had like a normal cold and flu season. It's been always like COVID. But now there's like 3 different viruses going around, which is a whole other thing. But at the same time, I mean, it's always been that way at this time of the year. It's always been.
It is.
This is when people get sick. That's not anything really new. But
Yeah, it is. It's just, I think we're just a little bit more
sensitive
to it. Yeah.
Or attuned. Yeah. Yeah, and also I think because we were wearing masks for so long too, I think the immune system kind of didn't stay as strong because of it, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just a theory.
We might be onto something there.
Yeah, I don't know though, but it is that time of year, so hopefully everybody stays warm and plays video games or watches movies and talks about more exciting things. Like, for instance, I think you were playing Super Mario RPG, right?
I was. I say I was because I finished the game. I found every secret treasure chest.
Oh my goodness. And
I beat the hidden Square Enix boss.
Yeah. I was just about to ask you about that. So this is, I mean, spoilers, but this game is like what? How old is this game? This game is older.
Yeah. This 30?
I don't even know anymore. 30 years?
If it's not 30, it's getting there.
Yeah, so and it's also a Mario game, so I don't think the story is that impactful, right? It's still a Mario game. It's got an interesting story, right? It's just not like Final Fantasy or something.
Well, it's very different for Mario because it was Square or Squaresoft at the time. Excuse me. And so yeah, the story is it's still very tame because Nintendo has very specific guidelines for Mario, but it's different, right? And they introduced new characters that we've never seen like in anything else again, like Geno, and so yeah, it's really fun story. It's like the best, especially when it came out 30 years ago or whenever it was. When it came out, it was in the golden era of RPGs, right? The Super Nintendo had some of the best RPGs to ever come out. And to release a Mario RPG at this time was just it was just mind-blowing. And so it's that original game is still one of my favorite games ever made. And I beat the heck out of it multiple times. So it has the feel of both. It's interesting. They did really good with it. It feels like a Mario game, but also you feel like you're in a Final Fantasy adventure. So it's not as in depth. Have you not played it? I thought you played it.
I've dabbled. I've dabbled with it. I didn't really play a lot of RPGs when it was new, and by the time I was playing RPGs, I was past the Super Nintendo, so I hadn't gone back.
Yeah.
And so I did play Paper Mario, which I know is a spiritual successor.
Which one?
But it's the original, the one for 64.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they kind of, they didn't continue with Square. I don't know. That'd be interesting. I'd like to find out exactly what happened with them and Square. But yeah, they did not continue with Square, so they split off the Paper Mario.
I could be wrong, but I feel like there's probably nothing. I feel like there's nothing much there. I think the main thing is that maybe you might be right with Super Mario RPG. I don't know. Because they still made Final Fantasy games for Super Nintendo after Super Mario RPG, I'd imagine.
Well, I just mean their partnership.
I don't know, because I know there was the main issue was with them and Nintendo 64, is the carts were too small. They didn't hold enough memory for Final Fantasy VII. Right. So that's why they went to PlayStation. It was literally just a hardware issue.
I don't think there's a lot of drama there. I just kind of want to know, like, why wasn't there a Mario RPG 2? Because
You're right. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Nintendo was just like, we could do it, and they did it. They kind of did it. I mean, I don't
They
know if
kinda
it's
did it.
good, but they kind of
It's
did
not. It's not because one of the best things for me in Mario RPG was that Bowser joins your team, right? It's the whole RPG trope of like this unlikely anti-hero joins your team and you get to use him and level him up and equip him with the weapons you want to equip him with, which, I don't know how often, other than Mario Party and the random Bowser's Fury Mario 3D World, like you don't get to control Bowser that much.
No, you're right. That is true.
So that kind of thing, and they had, I don't know how many hints were in the original Mario RPG, but there was some hints in the new one about like with Luigi being around, but he's not in the game at all. So like a Mario RPG 2 with Luigi on your team that'd be great. Like it's all there, right? It's all ready to go. I just don't know why it never happened, and that's what I want to know.
So what? First of all, was Square Enix involved with Super Mario RPG the remake?
I actually don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
guess I'm just curious because now that they've remade it and we're in a new time period, I wonder if we will get another Super Mario RPG 2, a sequel to that game.
You'd think. I don't know where. That's a hard. I don't know. Maybe a couple years ago, I'd say yeah. But all I see, there's been so many remasters and remakes.
Yeah,
I think maybe that's just what they're just cashing in on that. I don't know if there's any desire for them to.
Well, they could do like a Super Mario. See, we got Sora into Smash, and we got Cloud into Smash, and we got a couple other Sephiroth. I think is there any more Final Fantasy characters I'm not thinking of, or Square Enix characters?
Probably.
I can't think of that are also in Smash.
Maybe.
So there's one in Smash. And we just got Super Mario RPG. Now imagine if the next Super Mario RPG, instead of just Bowser coming to join you, you get like Sephiroth to join you. I don't know why I thought Sephiroth. But he could be like on your side. He could be jumping on Goombas.
Now we're just in Kingdom Hearts, I think.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts. Specifically, I platinumed 3, so I was happy with that. I finally cleaned it up.
How many hours was that? How many hours would you say?
About 60 to platinum it. It took me about 60.
Okay.
Nothing too extreme, but also I usually take my time with those games.
Right.
So I'm not pushing through it. And I went through Remind. I started doing those bosses, but they were too hard for me. So I found out that during that DLC, they added this easy mode.
Okay.
And so what this easy mode is adds this list of cheat codes that you can activate. Okay. But you can only do it on a new game, though. Apparently, you can't do it on the game you already had, so I couldn't do it. So I've started a new game, but also they added Roxas's 2 Keyblades in the game that you can get as Sora, and one of them was just by doing something in the game, and the other one you get, I think it's Oblivion, you get by beating critical mode. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going through critical mode with easy mode on because you can do that. And so I'm just going, so you can put the codes on. So it's still easy mode, but like I have one of the codes is one hit kill, basically. So everything I hit with my Keyblade just dies.
Nice.
And things like that. So it's been an interesting time.
Is the DLC called Remind?
Yeah, it's called Remind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did purchase it then.
Oh, you purchased the DLC? Okay.
Because I own the game. I think I just sold it, but I went on sale, like you said, and I had to scoop it up because
it's been on sale like a couple times. Yeah, it's been on sale a couple times, and I kept doing the same thing because I had already beaten it, but I kept doing the same. I kept looking like, maybe I should just grab it because I keep hearing it's not worth $30. It's not worth $30, by the way. I would wholeheartedly agree. This is not a $30 DLC. You're not getting half of a game worth of content. Like, yeah, it's maybe a quarter, maybe. It's pretty short. I think the story of it is like 4 hours long, and then the second part, you have like a boss rush, which is like 13 bosses.
Oh yeah,
plus another boss.
And me, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's not. There's not like.
I guess
like a free DLC, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess they. I guess people were really clamoring for some more one-on-one hard content. So I guess that's why they released it. But I got to it, and I went to the first boss, and I saw him smack the crap out of me, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing it then. And I just went and watched the secret cutscene online on YouTube. And then I found out about the easy mode, and I was like, well, I'll just go through the easy mode then and just go do it that way, because I had an itch to go through it anyways. So I was like, well, I'll just do it this way. And so I've been doing that.
Is that how you platinumed it?
No, I had platinumed it before that. Oh. Yeah, because it doesn't require critical mode to platinum it.
It doesn't.
No, doesn't require critical mode to platinum it. You just got to beat it, and then there's a bunch of like side stuff you got to do, a bunch of high score things on mini games and things like that, gummy ship stuff. It was really just clean up because I had already beaten the game, so I was just cleaning it up. I went back and just got the rest of the little things I need to do that I just didn't do because I was already done with the game at the time.
Yeah,
but. I also went through Melody of Memory. I know we talked about that a little bit. Did you ever? I know we talked about you getting it. Did you actually get Melody of Memory? You ever try it out?
I had it. Oh, I tried it, and I beat a level, and I put it away.
You go away now.
Yeah, I knew what it was, and
yeah,
I thought maybe I could get into it. I was not in the mood for a rhythm game when I played it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I knew that's what it was. I'm not trying to like bring it down, but like, and just I don't know and it was. I like rhythm games, but you have to be in the mood for them first of all. And that one just it just didn't vibe with me. Like I like the music in Kingdom Hearts, but not enough to keep in rhythm with it. If that makes sense. Like I don't want to have to sit there and time it. Like I just like hearing it. So, have you been playing that one too?
Yeah, I actually beat that one too.
Oh, wow.
That one's a bit shorter, but I think I spent about 10 hours on it roughly.
Oh, okay.
To finish it. It's nothing like a major game. And it was mainly because I knew there's like a story segment. You have to. So I don't know if you started playing it, so I don't know if you noticed, but essentially the game is you're basically going through every game. And at the end of, or at the certain parts of each of the sections, Kairi will actually explain what happens in the story up to that point or after that point or whatever.
Oh.
So by going through it, you actually learn an abridged version of the entire arc of Kingdom Hearts all the way up to the end of 3. So, and then at the end of there's an extra segment, extra world that's new canon material. Okay. So if you really want to get to that point, and it was fun, but like, yeah, you could probably watch it online if you really wanted to. Yeah, it was fun. I had a really fun time with it, and there's actually a multiplayer mode too, which is interesting. I think it has online multiplayer too. So if you haven't, maybe we should give it a shot. Yeah, I think so. I have to look into it again. But I remember people getting pretty excited that there was actually multiplayer at all, because we haven't really gotten a lot of multiplayer in Kingdom Hearts at all.
I know, so, and this is the one we get. Great.
This is the one we get. I know. I was watching a video recently where they were discussing how Dream Drop Distance. I don't know if you actually played that one or not. It was the one for the 3DS.
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, but you go back and forth between Riku and Sora. And I guess the theory is that it was meant to be a co-op game. That one of you would play Riku and one of you would play Sora, and that way when you saw like the other person in your world doing their activities, it was like seeing your partner doing it. So, and I was like, oh, That would be awesome if they did something like that, but they didn't.
It didn't happen.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that was
That
actually the case or not.
That was back when they were pumping them out, though.
Oh yeah, the side stories.
That was probably like the end of that, or tail end of that era. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one's really good though. I know Triple D is really good.
I played it. Some of it on the all-in-one package.
Yeah,
and
that's where I beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it on there versus the handheld version.
Yeah, I have it on the handheld, but I don't know if I'll ever play it on the handheld because I'd rather play in the PlayStation 4 version.
I've noticed a little side tangent story here. I like the 3DS and the DS, but I have a hard time playing them. Like, not that they're bad games. I don't know what it is. Like maybe just the layout out of it. Maybe my hands are too big for it, or I don't know. But I have a hard time sticking with
a game on there.
Yeah, and I want to like them. I want to like that console, and I have the 3DS loaded up with tons of games just before the store closed.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just keep going back to the Switch. It's so much more comfortable. It's more accessible. They have all the retro stuff on there now. It's
yeah.
It's just like a part of me is like, why don't I just? Because I have the Zelda 3DS, which is like it's a $500 console right now.
What? No, the Majora's Mask one, right?
No, the Hyrule one.
That's the one I have. 500? Yeah. Why is it so expensive?
You still have the box. I don't know because they're.
Oh, if I still have the box? Oh, I don't think I have the box anymore.
It's still probably $350, which is.
Jeez.
Still wild.
I don't know if I'd ever sell it, but still. I mean, I love my 3DS, and I'd have to get another 3DS because I'm always going back to it, so I haven't found a reason. I think I bought that one for a discount too. That was actually. We were upgrading to it because I was like, "Oh, this is really cool."
I couldn't even tell you how I got mine. With all the buying and selling and trading I do now, it's some of it's a whirlwind, dude. Like, I'll find stuff and be like, honestly, it's fun. It's at times where you'll find something, you're like, I have this. Like, I didn't even know I had this thing, and then frustrating because you're like, oh, I had this thing, I need to sell. Like, why am I not getting money on this? But that being said, I also at a buy sell trade event came across a PlayStation VR headset.
Oh, there you go.
Which
nice.
I've only ever dabbled in VR very slightly on the is the Oculus, the Quest? Is it just Quest?
Yeah, the Oculus. I think it's Meta Quest now.
Meta. That's right. It's a terrible name.
I agree.
Like, they don't need to change it. It was a good name. So I played on that one, and I liked it. And I just found it really disorienting. But I found that when you own one or you have a significant amount of time with it, you get kind of used to it, and you can play the games a little bit longer. And I've been loving it, dude. I played the Kingdom Hearts Experience, which was
nice.
It's a nice one where you can actually sit down and just watch the story unfold in VR. But I played Batman. Oh my gosh, suiting up as Batman was amazing. There was no combat. I was surprised that they must have. Combat's tough to do in VR, especially hand to hand, and they probably just didn't like the way it felt. So it's all detective stuff. But just suiting up and going through the manor and the Batcave was just fantastic. And the Joker scared the ever-living piss out of me, popping up in my bloodstream, and just because you played VR, right? You turn around and something's right next to you. You jump, and I jumped. Okay, let's admit the Joker got me. But yeah, like I got Iron Man on the way. I'm going to try the Iron Man quote unquote game. I feel like they're all experiences.
I think most of them are, especially on the VR one. I think they're starting to come up with some more games now, but I don't know. But I think they're, I don't know if they're up for the 2 now. I don't know how that all works.
And the big one, Half-Life Alyx, is not on PlayStation, so That's well, it's not on PlayStation, but I think you could figure out a way to play it with it. But that's like that one. I think got Game of the Year a few years back. But anyways, it's really fun. I enjoy it. I am looking into buying 3D movies to watch those because apparently they do play in the VR, and it's a trip. So they're just kind of expensive. Like the 3D Blu-rays, they don't really make them anymore. They just do the 4K, and they're getting kind of hard to find. So I think I picked up Rogue One in Blu-ray 3D.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? That seemed like a Star Wars movie, a decent Star Wars movie, and in VR, I'm down for it. But yeah, I'm totally hooked. I'm interested in the PSVR 2 once that goes on sale for at least $200 off, if not more, because it's ridiculous, man. The price is $550 for the second one, and I think what's the other one? Horizon's in VR on the PSVR 2, the new Horizon game, whatever it's called. So that's worth it. And then Resident Evil 4, that's definitely
that one will be fun. Yeah, I'm curious to see you play that one because that one seems like would be. I mean, I feel like it would be spooky because of the Resident Evil, it's zombies and stuff, but it is also a game I know you've played probably at least once, if not more than that. So I feel like it's going to be a little different it's not going to be as scary, but it'll probably be different when you're in Leon's shoes, though, for sure.
Yeah, quite literally, right? Yeah, that one's a lot more action oriented. Resident Evil 7 in VR seems like too much, but I've also been playing Doom in VR, which is similar, right? Like you're fighting demons and stuff, and yeah, you turn around, and you're getting hit, or something pops out at you. It's scary, but you also have a shotgun, right? So it's like I'll be fine. But as long as I got my trusty shooter, I'm good.
Nice. But you did get that gun, right? You just said you got that.
Yes.
You got that. Yeah. You got that gun. Can you use? I wonder if will you be able to use it on Resident Evil 4?
Oh, shoot! I didn't even look into that. You better be.
I have no idea. I was just curious because I know it's an older thing, right?
It's a full-on controller. It has every PS4 button that you need on it. So nice. I think they have to build it in the functionality though into the game.
Yeah, so, that's why I'm wondering if it.
Gosh, they better. They better. They're probably gonna make a new one. Is what they're doing.
So I hope. Yeah, for the 2 now.
Yeah, they're getting another $80 out of my pocket.
Of course they will.
But yeah, I mean, it's totally worth
in that pocket.
That thing is definitely worth the money, though.
Yeah.
After playing Doom with it, I was playing Doom without it, and it was awful.
Wasn't there
unplayable?
Wasn't there like an online game too, like an online shooter?
Yeah, it comes with it, but no one's online anymore.
Oh, well, unfortunate.
I mean, I got 2 people to join me, but you need 8 to play a game. So, and I got tired of waiting, so I was like, maybe on busy weekends. I don't know. There's still life in the game. It's called Ground Zero, and there's still life there, but just not enough to just pick up and go. You know what I mean? You have to get lucky, or we'd have to squad up. But they have a horde mode on there, which is pretty fun. I played through that, and but again, going back to Doom was fantastic with that gun. So I got my money's worth.
Yeah. They don't have Among Us on there, do they? Because I know that's what my son plays. My son plays
VR.
He's on the Oculus. He plays on the Oculus. Yeah, they have Among Us VR, and he also plays the VR Chat, which I don't think VR Chat ever made it over to PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
Gonna stay clear away.
I'm good on that one. Yeah. Yeah, PlayStation 5. So. I think it's PS5 or the PSVR 2 only for Among Us.
Oh, really?
Well, let me see.
For Among Us, huh? I wonder why, because that game seems like it would be It's a very low, like, you don't need much to play it on your computer. So, but I don't know what the VR one is like, and I know they decided to make it because there was just an Among Us on VR chat.
Maybe it is.
So they got ahead of it.
What do you like? Are you in their perspective? Like
I
walking
think
around?
so.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's how it is. I'm not sure. I have never played it.
I've never played that game at all.
Among Us, it's pretty fun. I think it's a pretty fun little game, especially if you have like a group of people instead of just like randoms.
Yeah, I agree. It is I think PS5 only.
Well, it's got that high fidelity graphics, so it needs.
I don't know why
that extra boost.
I think a lot of people are still on the PS4. I don't know why they would limit it. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyways,
yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But you're having fun. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'm loving the VR, surprisingly, because I didn't think I would. I got those headsets for cheap, and I kind of think I was just going to resell. I got 2 of them. I was thinking just going to resell them, but now I'm probably going to keep one of them at least. And so yeah, really cool.
So you can get on board. You can jack in whenever you want to.
Dude,
disassociate from the world.
It really is. It really is going. I'm going right into the Matrix. I was watching Dragon Ball Superhero the other day.
Yeah,
you could change the screen size.
Headset?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
I mean, you could change the screen size. You lose a little bit of quality. Not like it's not like pixelated, but you know what I mean. It's not like 4K when you put it.
Not as crisp. Yeah.
But like it's still like watching like a theater, like you're sitting in a movie theater. So yeah, I was just watching the action scenes with that thing, and you can like look around at the spots you want. Oh, it was fantastic.
That sounds cool.
100% on board for VR. Plug me in, Neo. I'm ready.
Well, the machines will be happy to use you as a battery.
Yep.
But until then, we still go out and do stuff in the world, like see movies. And I don't know if you knew this, Kyle. Well, you probably do, because there is like 3 Godzilla things all coming out around the same time. There's a TV show on Apple TV. There's Godzilla and King Kong doing something together. It's more of like an action-packed American-style King Kong.
Like right now?
I think it's coming out soon. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's coming out real soon. That movie. And then also the one that apparently we needed an action movie, we need a series, and we need a high quality drama / monster film.
Yeah, period piece.
Yeah, period piece as well.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh no, that was the last
with Godzilla -1, which we actually saw. Me, you, and Tomas all went and saw it on Cine 1 or Cine XL, whatever they call it.
Yeah. The big boy screen.
I'm kind of curious, and I should have looked it up before this. Is this the longest dragon? Is this the longest Godzilla film that they've made? Because this is a 2-hour Godzilla film. That seems long.
It was a long
one. It was very long. I mean, and when it was like the action was fantastic, and the drama and the storytelling was really good as well. I mean, I don't know what you thought. What did you think about it?
I guess, I'll start with the negative, like you mentioned. Like, it was just a tad too long, which is probably for most movies is my complaint these days. Like, hour 45 is pushing it. Hour and a half is the sweet spot. Which has changed. Like you said, this is actually over 2 hours, just over 2 hours. And when I was younger, I craved longer movies just because, I don't know, I wanted to be in them longer. But now maybe it's just perspective, right? I'm older. Hour and a half is just as long as I want to watch a movie for. But I think because a lot of it could have been sped up, there was just a lot of scenes that could have been sped up a little bit, right? Like, I didn't need to see them just sitting there for 30 seconds before they said something. That kind of stuff. And all that
builds the tension. Yeah, but I understand.
Yeah, it does. But like, that's where editing comes in. All that to say, I think the ratings that it's getting are well deserved. It has a 97% on the Tomatoes, 8.5 on IMDb, and around 80% on Metacritic. I think that's spot on for all of them. I'd give it an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 if it wasn't so long. But yeah, just like I said, the period piece, the time post World War II with the cinematics. It definitely was a monster movie, but in between there was a really well done love story and like war story, just a really really well woven together story overall. So that was my negative and my positive all wrapped in there. So yeah, I definitely think it gets the super nerd rating in my opinion.
So I kept hearing it was coming out soon, and apparently the next Godzilla X Kong, maybe it's just the trailers came out, is not coming out until April 12th, 2024.
Yeah,
so
I think the trailers dropped. But
the trailers are dropping.
But this other one we're talking about just came out last weekend.
Yeah, it just came out like last weekend, yeah.
Maybe space it out a little bit, right?
Well, they're different. They're different universes, though. The other one is
confusing for us casual Godzilla fans. I'm definitely casual. I didn't know that.
I would like to think I'm higher than casual, but at the same time, I am probably more along the lines of casual. I've only watched a handful of Godzilla films. I've enjoyed every single one I've watched for the most part, except for Godzilla.
Same. Oh, the 98 one?
The 98 one, yeah. But honestly, even at the time, I actually remember enjoying it.
It is.
Jurassic Park was a thing. I wasn't really into Godzilla or anything, so it was still an enjoyable,
I think,
silly movie.
The biggest complaint I've heard from that one is the way he looks, Godzilla.
He does look awful, yeah.
Yeah, it is like it's an abomination to who Godzilla is. And yeah, they didn't do any more after that. But I remember liking that movie with all the baby Godzillas and stuff.
Yeah, I remember enjoying it as well at the time, but I was also a bit younger, so I was just cruising at that time. Anything with giant dinosaurs and monsters sounds great to me. I mean,
Batman and Robin was probably in my top 5 at the time. So
even like Forever. I mean, I was still I think I was still an apologist for a long time.
I will.
The older I get, the more I realize like how close it is to Batman and Robin with the themes and stuff. Like it's not there, but it's on its way. It's getting there. I mean,
right.
It was the next step. It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's good. I think the only thing about Godzilla, going back to Godzilla -1, I really enjoyed it as well. I felt that it was all fantastic. It did make sense that what people were saying about how it was kind of definitely a Japanese story. It had to be told by, the Japanese people. So it made sense because they were very much, a lot of it was about like a kamikaze pilot and things like that. So
right.
That's definitely it makes sense after watching it. I think my only gripe, and it's a small gripe. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter that much. But somebody told me a long time ago that, and I don't remember who it was at this point, and maybe you'll remember, but that kids can't act. They don't like kids in movies because they cannot act.
Oh.
And ever since I've heard that, every time I see a kid in a movie or a show or anything, yeah, they can't act. They're not great. They're really bad actors, and it makes sense. They're children. I mean, whatever. But so the kid in that it's in the movie. It just kept every time they were on scene. It just made me laugh because of how of the weird little things they're having her do. She was obviously being, shepherded around.
Right.
There was. It didn't feel really realistic or anything, but it's not. And I don't mean to I'm not bagging on her as a person. She's a child, so there's not saying she's bad. It was just it did pull me out because everybody else was very serious and it was a very dramatic film. And then every time she was on screen, it was like they were really trying with her. And I don't know if she was related to somebody or something, or if they just needed somebody at that exact age range.
2-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, she's really young. Yeah, so I'm not dogging on her, but it just definitely pulled me out a little bit. I think they try to make her do a little too much.
You're not wrong, but for me, because I have a 2-year-old daughter, like that's all I saw. Like, it was, kids. There's every once in a while you get a good kid actor like that's in, upper elementary, like 5th, 6th, 7th grade. Like some of those kids can pull it off. But
Macaulay Culkin was a fantastic child actor. Every time I've seen him,
I was thinking
it's amazing. I don't understand how, but
Shia LaBeouf when he was in as
Even Stevens.
Yeah,
he wasn't that young, was he? He couldn't have been. He had to be like 12, right? I don't know.
Well, that's what I mean. Like around that age, you start getting into like decent acting. But yeah, like the little babies and stuff. Yeah, but at the same time, like people think they're so cute. It's like they also steal the stage at the same time because that's all you can look at. It's like, oh, look at that cute little kid. Oh, they can't act for beans. Okay, well,
beans. Yeah,
it totally took me out of it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But for me, I just kept seeing my daughter and like, I was kind of experiencing that, like how I would feel. So yeah, you're not wrong, but I was just so emotional watching that. I was like, oh, my little girl, so I was like, it was different for me.
Hey, that's good though. But yeah, small gripe, but it was just more of a silly gripe. But yeah, other than that, I can't think of anything else that was like really detrimental to it or anything like that. There was one thing, but you guys kind of explained it to me, so I'm just letting it pass. Do you think you'll watch it again?
Yes. That's when it's a good movie. I'd be willing to watch it again. Not in a theater.
No.
I guess that's like the next step, right? Like there's certain movies I would go back to the theater to watch. It's been maybe a decade since I felt that way.
Yeah.
But if it was on streaming, if somebody had it on, I would definitely, for sure, be like, yeah, I'm watching this again. I loved it.
For sure. Now, you said you didn't watch the American series right now. So there's an American series going on by Lionsgate, I think. There's Godzilla War of the Monsters, and this Godzilla X Kong film. You haven't watched any of them, right? I mean, obviously not the newest one. And then Kong Skull Island, I guess, is technically in that thing.
Couldn't do it.
Okay, well, does this make you want to watch it more or less?
I want to watch more of this series. I would, if they made a sequel to, I guess, what would it be?
I think they're
be 0 because it's minus 0.
Minus.
So now we just have
I don't know. That's a good question.
But
they did kind of set it up for a sequel without going into spoilers, but still, what would they call it? Because it's like minus 0. So, like,
right.
I guess they could just try to do another Godzilla, but they've done that so many times at this point. It's just confusing. I'm actually getting really tired of any movies that do that now. Just do the same name, but like Godzilla 2017 or something. It's like, okay, all right, well, they're both named Godzilla, but now we got to go by the year, so it's just confusing now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's hitting not like a Marvel cinematic phase, because all the Marvel stuff is connected. These are not connected, but there's still too many of them. They probably need to reset and focus on one. And I'd be interested in that.
So I think this one's related to Shin Godzilla.
Right.
Have you seen that one yet, or do you want to watch that one now? I want to watch it. I wanted to watch it before, but I never got around to it.
Yes, I would. I'd be willing to watch that one now. I love the old classic Godzillas, and this had that
with
feel.
The suits and everything.
Oh yeah, this had that kind of like that vibe, kind of like a callback to that one. So yeah, I'd be willing to watch that one. Do you remember Godzilla 2000?
Yes, I think I do. I'm trying to pull back to it now.
That one, That one was a
that was the one. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that one was just like a big monster fight, right? Where they had a. That's where they brought the American Godzilla, right? The '98 one.
No,
wasn't he in that one? Is that a different one? I'm thinking a different one. Okay.
No, this was Japanese film.
Yeah, this one was Japanese too. It's just they because they hated the American Godzilla so much, they like threw him in there and like a little side note. Then Godzilla just like kicked it away or something.
I don't even remember. I mean, I watched it 23
From what I
years
heard,
ago.
it was really like a small side thing.
If it happened, I missed it. But that was like a total cheeseball fest. A huge callback to that classic Godzilla series. Just cheesy lines, people running in the streets saying cheesy stuff. But yeah, big old monster fight. And then after that, I don't remember hearing anything on that until, we fast forward till now. And then the Godzilla -1 is a very dramatic movie.
Yeah.
Very, very serious. Like, what if Godzilla actually happened? And it's a comparison to like the American weapons that were used against the Japanese in World War II and all that. It's a big metaphor for that. But yeah, it's very different with the dramatic part.
So I was talking to somebody and they were saying that the Japanese Godzilla came out and it was actually trying to be serious and scary, the first one. Then after a while it just became action figures fighting each other.
Right.
In this universe. And then they tried to make a more serious Godzilla, American Godzilla, which they did, which I don't remember what year that one came out, but it's the one that's in this new series. And then the next movie was just like Godzilla War of the Monsters, which just action figures fighting. So it's like it was just repeating the same process. So now we're seeing what's going to happen with this one that's dramatized. Like we're gonna do the same thing again. It's just with them now. They're gonna do it. Yeah, they're gonna do some more. I would love to see a solid. Like I actually liked War of the Monsters. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was definitely more action focused, but I really enjoyed it. And I love that stuff. I love this one too, but I do love seeing the versus Godzilla movies. Those are always some of the more fun ones. It's just like Godzilla versus Mothra. Like I always love Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla and Rodan
when he
and things like that.
Became a good guy. It was like now it's on. Yeah,
it's basically like giant monster wrestling matches.
Yeah, I'm all for that, dude. All for that.
So
and
that's
what's interesting is I just listened to a podcast that went through every Godzilla game ever made. And kind of did some ratings and a backstory on a few of them, and there's like 2 that have like ratings above 8, and it's like, how do you mess up just giant wrestling monsters? And the best one was like on GameCube, that was just a giant monster wrestling game, and I guess it kind of peaked at that time, and they haven't been able to get it right ever since. Like, I just want a wrestling game with giant monsters.
Yeah,
King Kong. Like,
what happened to the Rampage series? It just fell off the face of the earth, and it's like that was a fun game, and it was just really monsters wrecking buildings. But I mean, it was definitely spiritually related to Godzilla.
Oh yeah,
like it wasn't
King Kong,
even touching them, but yeah, in King Kong, it's like it was associated with that kind of stuff. And they tried to make a Rampage movie that was weird. I don't even know what was going on with that. But I was just like,
oh yeah, with The Rock. yeah, that was terrible.
So I don't know. It just feels like that'd be a fun one to bring out. I mean, they've been making a lot of retro games. I mean, why don't we make a new, like something like that that's just a little bit more updated with graphics? But I guess that's not a big series, so I don't know. I'm not
a developer. So
yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not.
Kyle, get on it. You sell games, so obviously you can make games. It's just
I can put it all together. Yeah, right.
Hand to hand.
Like again, yeah. I don't know what it's like to make a game. It's probably very difficult.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
So yeah, I don't know. Wrestling games are, I don't know. They're kind of
more wrestling monster games.
Yeah, monster specific. Yeah. And
Just cool monsters.
that's the hill we're gonna die on in 2023.
All right, there we go. And so we both love Godzilla -1. Go check it out before it's out of theaters. It's definitely a movie I think that needs the theater. I think it's just that big.
Yeah, you really do, to get the perspective and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish our screen was bigger, like thinking about it. But
really,
it's pretty big. It worked. I mean, I would love it IMAX. I love IMAX. I'm a sucker for it. But we don't have one close to us. It makes me sad.
Yeah. It's way out of the way. Yeah.
It's always way. Yeah. It's a whole thing. Anyways, but that's it for 2023. You wanna leave everybody out with something from 2023 because we're not gonna be back until 2024.
Due to technical difficulties, Tomas was unable to be with us. I think you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
We were gonna play a game tonight about the current value of video games. We mentioned this before, but let's just do one quick one, Alan. I'm just gonna throw a game and see if you can guess the price.
All right. Well, we'll check again at the January, right? And we'll see how much lower it is or higher.
You know what? That's a good idea.
Okay.
And we'll make it nice and controversial. The Die Hard arcade game for Sega Saturn, because it's Christmas, right? Christmas is coming up.
It is Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to give you a tough one because I know you you dabble in the market a little bit. You know the value
for sure.
But I wanted to give you a tough one, which because I had no idea what this game was worth before I looked it up, and so Die Hard Arcade, because there's a difference. Die Hard Arcade for the Sega Saturn. What do you think that goes for?
Sega Saturn,
complete in box.
Ooh,
it has the box and everything. Yeah,
Saturn's got a high value because it was a poorly.
Yeah, not a lot sold.
Not a lot sold.
So the games are literally
$200.
You're not too far off. A new price is $232. Complete in box is $136.
Okay.
So
I'm right in the middle of brand new and used.
Yeah, you're right in there.
$136 though. That's pretty. I mean, that sounds about right for Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn has a lot of really expensive games.
Right. So
yeah.
Just to give you perspective, February of 2022, it was at $186.
We've already dropped $50.
Well,
but that's almost a year, though. I mean, roughly.
Yeah, a little bit more than 50, 65 ish.
65. Okay.
So yeah, it's a fair drop. But again, the market was shot way up in 2021, so it's kind of just going back to normal, I guess you could say. But it's Anyways, Die Hard, the Christmas movie arcade game for Sega Saturn. If you own that game, you have $130 right now.
$130.
So that's
nice.
That's what I'll leave our listeners with. And
all right. Well, I look forward to hearing the update on that game. I'm curious to see what it does in January. But yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you next year with more times. Hopefully, Tomas will be with us. He lost his power, technical difficulties, like he said. So we miss him. He saw the movie with us, and we wanted to hear all of his information. But maybe we'll find out next time. So we will talk to you in January. I will give a date on probably Discord if you join our Discord. But until then, we will see you later. Bye.
Goodbye.